The fight for the best and cheapest small electric vehicle is now on. You have the Chinese rivals coming out from left, right and centre. You also have the new Dacia Spring, the Renault 5 E-Tech as well as the Vauxhall Corsa. Now Hyundai has also joined the fight with the new Hyundai Inster. The question is though, is this the one to go for or should you avoid it? Well, let's find out. Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Cars and More. This is the #1 place to be for car news and reviews. Sit back, buckle up, let's go. Now, to say that this car is a looker would be an understatement. Just like the Renault 5, the Hyundai Inster looks like it has a happy face. To start with, we get this bar up top that has 7 squares either side of it. Now, you may be thinking that these are your LED daytime running lights, but no, these are your indicators. Also on this bar, you have the Hyundai logo. Lower down, we get this pill-shaped front end, and this houses your LED headlights with LED daytime running lights. This area also houses your front radar system as well as a front camera and the charge port. Lower down we do also have an active front central air vent, and surrounding that we have some silver skid plate cladding. Moving round to the side and we get a very chunky design with matte black cladding around the square wheel arches and lower sill. We also get some chunky bulges along the side too, and we also get a separate window similar to what the Skoda Roomster had. We also get a hidden door handle and some roof bars up top too, so it looks like a mini off-roader. We also get some side cameras, and we will talk about more on that when we get to the inside of the Inster. Moving around to the back, and we get a similar design to the front as in terms of circles and squares. To start with, we get the boot switch, which is just below the rear wiper, a bit like what the BMW Estates have to open the rear window. Lower down we get another black bar which houses 24 squares either side this time. Now you may be thinking this will house the indicators like the front, but no. These are your tail lights and brake lights. Lower down we get the Inster logo, which is quite cool, and below that on the bumper we get some circles which house your reflectors, reverse lights and indicators. Lower down even more we also get some silver skid plates cladding as well as your rear fog lights. Overall then, a smart and modern design. Right, let's have a look at what battery and motor options you can have with the new Hyundai Inster. So, there are 2 versions of the Hyundai Inster available from launch. Let's start with the first one. This is called 01. This uses a 39 kWh battery pack and is mated to a 95 brake horsepower motor mounted to the front of the car, giving this car an impressive 203 mile range. The 0 to 62 time is also decent for this model at 11.7 seconds. The next version is called 02, and this uses a bigger 46 kWh battery pack and a more powerful 113 brake horsepower motor. This gives the Inster a 229 mile range. It also reduces the 0 to 62 time down to 10.6 seconds, which is still decent, considering it is carrying around a bigger battery and has a low amount of power. The price of the new Hyundai Inster starts at £23,495. Sadly, this is more than its rivals, the Citroen C3 and Dacia Spring, but we will have to see what the interior is like first to make any assumptions. So, climbing inside the new Hyundai Inster and we get a modern design. To start with, we get a dual colour dashboard design, but sadly it does have cheap fitting plastics all around the cabin, which is a shame really, as it does look quite smart. To keep costs down, we also get the older infotainment system, but it does still work very well and is still very easy to use. The instrument cluster is also very clear and easy to use and has a very clever feature. Now, Hyundai and Kia have this thing where if you put the indicator on, you get a camera feed in the dial to show your blind spot. I do like this feature and I do wish other cars have this, as it is a very good safety feature. The indicator stalks are modern and premium looking, and we also get a modern steering wheel with the H letter in Morse code that lights up at night. The centre console houses your infotainment buttons and a section for your climate control, which is very nice to see. In front of the passenger there is also a shelf which houses your 12-volt socket and a USB-C port, but overall the design of the dashboard is nice and modern. Personally, I would just like to see some better materials used around the cabin. I would be happy to pay £1,000 more to have this. One thing I do want to mention though is the seats. Now, it looks like you have a full width seat bench, like what you used to get back in the 50s and 60s, which I do quite like, but the central part is attached to the driver's seat. This does also give you an armrest and cup holders too. It's just a nice design that you don't really see it anymore. Right, let's have a look and see what the rear seats are like. So, getting into the back of the new Hyundai Inster and you are surprisingly get a decent amount of legroom and headroom. Design wise, there isn't really much to talk about apart from you do still get cheap plastics. You also don't get any air vents or an armrest or even rear USB-C ports, which is a shame really, as some smaller cars are starting to get this in the back. Really though, it's not a bad place to be considering the size and price of the car. Right, let's have a look and see what the boot is like. So, opening the boot to the new Hyundai Inster, and you are welcomed with 238 litres of space with the seats up. But if you slide the seats forward, this increases to 351 litres. This is a very decent amount of space, and it is very usable with the Inster's boxy dimensions. You also get a 50-50 folding split rear seat too. Now, I don't know what the size of the boot is with the seats folded down yet, but I will update you in the comments section once I find out. So, in summary then, what do I think of the new Hyundai Inster? Well, with its quirky looks and decent interior as well as good practicality, it is a very decent electric car. I do think the price is quite high though, considering the quality inside isn't that great, but it does make up for it with the build quality and the technology. Overall though, I do think it is a very unique car. We should see a few on the road very soon, as I do believe this is going to be one very popular Hyundai. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.